My name is Michael, and I'm here with my regulars here, Limo, Flip Chan. How are you, boys?
Very
Pretty good.
All right, Limo's trying to keep a lid on it right now because at the time of recording, I think we're 2 hours before England plays DRC. So
Yeah.
we are gonna try and keep him in check here, and but we are now a week on. We're a week on from the Web3 Summit. And so it's been very interesting just sort of like catching some of the vibes exactly like that that's been going on online. Um, I must have a different timeline, hey, because for some reason my timeline had a lot of Polkadot hate this week. And I don't normally get any hate, like Polkadot hate like that. But for some reason this week, everyone was out doing their tier lists and like Polkadot F tier, like so I don't know if anyone else caught that, but I had some negative vibes this week in my timeline. Anyone else?
Pretty negative. I think people don't read blogs about this Jam KB stuff. Like I said last week, someone even at the end of last week, I said, please don't complain to me about the price of DOT. I had a few people doing that as well. So maybe people watch the show and know it winds me up. Yeah, people are just, I think in bear markets, people are just negative at everything. Like probably if you're in like the Cardano or Avalanche or Zcash communities, it's probably toxic as fuck as well.
Both of those two communities, Cardano and AVAX, they're all like knifing each other with samurai swords right now. Like same. Yeah. So it's not just those two either. It's the internet computer, the Polygon, Arbitrum Optimism. They're all going at each other. So yeah, it all kicks on. So I think what we could probably do is let's just go to the source. Let's just go to the source of all truth. So I'm gonna share this blog post, or the Medium post from Gav, because I think that this is very interesting. So we had some more conversation around, like, I guess, what the future is and how this is all going to play out. Like, you're probably the point man here, Limo. Like, what's Gav trying to say here? 3 days ago, he's put out another post.
Yeah, he kind of just goes on to explain a lot of what we said last week. Just explaining why he personally believes that a new token is a way forward. He does also compare it to core time, which we did last week as well, where, you know, for actual like parachains and stuff, they have to buy like an NFT basically to get access to Polkadot's compute. And in this case, it's very similar, except the like perpetual tokens that give you like permanent access to the RAM of Jam validators. So he's kind of just explaining why he thinks that is the way that we should go. He uses some like island analogy to try and explain his thoughts. But again, the problem that we have is people on X are not going to read this and are just going to complain. I guess the best thing to look at is if you scroll down a bit, there's like some bullet point list. That's probably the thing we can go through on screen.
Well, I was just going to say here, I think this quote here is really interesting because I'm going to say it. I've heard Gav hanging big turds on Solana a lot. And so it's interesting that Solana got referenced here. But my understanding, and you can correct me here, is it almost makes like Polkadot an L2 on top of Jam. Like, am I understanding that correctly?
As far as I'm aware, the like picture it in like terms of relay chains. This probably isn't the way that Gab would want this explained. But like, imagine the Polkadot relay chain is now Jam, and then Polkadot is like a parachain of Jam, and then with new parachains on Polkadot. So Polkadot would be like one service of Jam, and then you could have all other services. But then all those services that don't need to be like typical crypto things can interact with Polkadot for like, you know, monetary transactions and stuff like that. I think there was even something like the initial validator set of Jam, like Polkadot might have to assist with how to elect those and stuff like that. But yeah, that I believe is the case, which is why it makes sense that the DAO that I think Gab's calling out, the DAO would own all of the Jam KB, right? Because we're basically moving into like what you might call like a layer 2 or a service of Jam.
Yeah. So Polkadot is becoming a parachain of Jam, effectively. And everything moves to like what was once called Asset Hub, and that now becomes Polkadot. and relay chain gets replaced by this Jam supercomputer, which he, in his own post here, has compared to Ethereum and Solana. So super, yeah. I mean, I've been all for this from day one. I said it last week. I was for the rebrand, like, and so if Polkadot becomes the service and the core tech actually becomes Jam, I'm all for this.
So again, remember, this Jam stuff will just help Polkadot because,
of course,
in my opinion, it doesn't make sense for anyone else to make like a transactional layer when Dot has like stuff with monetary value, like stable coins, right? So if you made a service on Jam that required payment, just do it on, yeah, exactly. So you would just use the Polkadot like asset hub or whatever, right?
Yeah, Polkadot hub.
For me, this is bullish. It's just people don't understand the Jam KB token, and based on comments on X, they just believe that like whoever are gonna like enrich themselves with it when it's like the DAO that has access to it. Obviously, certain groups of people have a lot of voting power, but it's like not 51% at all. So it's easy to like, if people actually organized and voted, if it's something you don't like, you can like outvote certain people that everyone on X is making like the boogeyman at the moment.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you said there's a couple of dot points that you wanted to cover here.
Yeah, if you scroll down, there's like 10 bullet points near the bottom, and then it's like a Q&A after that. It's quite a long post, which is why I don't think people on X are going to be reading this and they'll just cry.
Well, it's good. That's why they come here for the TLDR. Okay, so in a nutshell, here we go. Jam is more of a powerful generalized replacement for the present relay chain protocol. That makes sense. Dot retains all economic utility as before, including in aggregate being the sole control of the dot DAO, like you said. Interesting. I've never heard that term before. This is new. Both Jam and the relay chain can produce core time for the dot DAO. Okay, let's unpack that. Both Jam and the relay chain. Okay, because the relay chain would still exist as a system chain.
Yeah, so all like the current core time stuff, like how hydration accesses Dot's shared security or whatever we want to talk about, that still exists, right? You can still run like a parachain or whatever.
Yep.
But then you also have this Jam KB stuff, which allows you to run services that I would imagine would be stuff outside of normal crypto stuff would be the thing people are going to do.
Yeah, this is just like decentralized. Like, is this like a VPS on steroids? Like, but has
yeah,
a shared computer.
Yeah. Okay. Flipchain, you could probably drill down on that more, but yeah. Okay, DAO sells core time to fund the incentivization for Polkadot validators, which presently includes validator and nominator rewards. Okay, that makes sense.
So the core time aspect as well. So if Jam allows people to run services that outside of normal crypto stuff that people actually find interesting, then you have like a second order effect, whatever, that then there might be like certain parachains on the Polkadot relay chain that make sense when certain services are live as well, right? So you'll get more core time sales as well as the Jam KB sales and stuff.
Yeah, I know I'm jumping ahead here, but for me, like the more I've drilled down on this, I don't really see how this is hugely bullish for the dot price, but man, I think it's insanely bullish for the Jam KB. Like, it's so, I think that is just like going to be one of the hottest commodity like assets that you could purchase. I think it's kind of status quo for dot, not good, not bad, just kind of it is. But man, that I like, and if the dot DAO is the one making all of these fees from the sale of Jam shares or Jam ownership, then yeah, bullish. Anyway, I digress. As long as core time sales are insufficient, then DAO, via the on-chain staking system which it controls, must use inflation to incentivize validators. It's pretty simple. DAO's success, and with it, the future of Polkadot's economy, is therefore based around making core time viable. Okay, that's the point there. That becomes the product. I love that. That's my favorite dot point so far. The whole Polkadot economy is around core time. That's the product.
And it becomes more valuable if you have unique services that Jam can let people run. And then dot is the transactional layer. Again, the second order effect thing that I mentioned, right? So
exactly.
to me, this makes a lot of sense and is good.
So just for all of our noobs out here, myself included, like when we say services that wouldn't necessarily be blockchain based, what sort of stuff are we talking about? Is it just like I want to host my website there, or I want to run a
gaming server? It could be a torrent tracker, a radio station, like all types of software that you can run them centralized, but now you can run them on Jam. So I can run like a gaming server, and then Limo can run a gaming server, and then they can talk to each other, and then we can play Counter-Strike together, or like more generalized. With Ethereum, you're so limited. Like you can only run these like small programs, but here you have actual compute that can talk to each other. So
because it's not relying on blocks, it just is.
Yeah, right? Yeah, exactly. It's like
exactly
a layer below blocks. So so it's like the DAO rents out the space on this supercomputer.
Yeah, this makes a lot of sense to me. Okay. More useful core time should have greater market value. Utility comes from flexibility and market. Jam's core time is strictly more flexible and in technically important ways. What does that mean? Jam's core time is strictly more flexible. Oh, okay.
You can do stuff outside of normal.
What we're just saying. So when they're saying Jam's core time, they're actually saying the Jam KB.
Yeah, but basically time on the Jam computer.
Yeah, time. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. Jam requires internal resource access token for soundness. Ownership of this token is required to make use of Jam's cores for anything new. Yeah. Okay. And in an effort to make core time as valuable as possible, DAO would consider bringing to market the resource access token. What does that mean? Is that they're going to be the one distributing the Jam token?
I think it means don't put it all on the market immediately and maybe distribute it in sensible ways to people that might actually do stuff and not just speculate on it for the beginning, which is what we said last week as well.
Yeah.
A slow drip.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I like this. I think this is great. Again, like obviously the market. I don't know how many eyeballs there are still watching like, Polkadot news or Polkadot like X drops. But if people were waiting for like the big sort of Web3 summit, like ta-da, like obviously that didn't happen. There wasn't like a spike because there's this new product that's launched or anything like that. But for anyone who's actually taken the time to do the research, I don't know how you look at this and not think that this is awesome, because this is the evolution of like the industry that we've been in. This is the evolution of the tech.
It is definitely. It's a new horizon. It's like something we haven't seen before into this power and like this generalized as well, being able to run all these programs in like a decentralized way and them also being able to talk to each other is really unique cool service. Yeah, so I'm excited to see like what people build on top of it. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah, super cool. Even if you just were a bit of like a doomsdayer and you wanted to host your websites on like Jam, like isn't that just like an obvious one? Because websites that aren't going to be censorable.
Yeah, I think you can do it right now on the Bulletin chain, and you can do. They have some really cool stuff going on. So you can like share. You pay for like 2 weeks of storage or something like that with the DOT token. I was looking through like Perity's repos the other day, and they're doing a lot of like Web3 storage stuff. So maybe they will be like the new Crust or something like that. Yeah.
Flip Chan's getting ready to launch his pirate radio station on Jam.
Yeah, unstoppable.
From 2 a.m. to 6 a.m., it's just him making a whole bunch of pirate grunt noises. and then from 6 to 8, it's just beard stroking. ASMR beard stroking. Awesome. Well, anyone who wants, go have a look at that blog post from the Medium post from Gav, because that's pretty straightforward. I think that's Super exciting. I think, yeah, explaining it that it's not a blockchain is probably the easiest way to explain it. It's like it's using kind of like the whole same blockchain principles, but without it being dependent on blocks. I think that's way more. It's way more like processable, I think, for the human brain. Just for 5 more minutes, I just wanted to just touch on, like, it seems like there's a bit of stuff happening in OpenGov right now. So this is probably like, this is cool because OpenGov's been like a ghost town for like 6 months. So we've got a little bit of stuff happening. Anything you standing out here? I know Footchan, you were chatting about some of this. Paraspell?
Yeah, Paraspell is nice. They make like easy to use XM tools, so you can like bridge easily between tokens, and they have like a really cool visualization thing. And I think this dude has been running it a bit. This has been an OpenGov funded project for 3 or 4 years now. That's been going on. It's been used by like Turtle and some other stuff.
The Turtle stuff's cool.
Cool.
I had a look at that not that long ago.
This is very good for if you're doing any like XCM apps and you point cloud at Paraspell, it works very well. It's good.
Is this kind of like in like the Nova wallet like magic, where like you can have tokens on one chain and you want to swap it and it sends it off to hydration and then brings it back to you type sort of setup?
Yeah, in an abstracted way, so you don't have to like raw dog the Polkadot calls and stuff like that. So pretty useful.
Doesn't matter how many times or in what context I hear the word raw dog, it's just always funny. All right, well that's cool. What's the sort of general like sentiment you reckon here, Limo, around OpenGov? Is this going to be like a thing again, like it was, or is it not?
So there was like changes to OpenGov a few months ago, where like medium spender, I believe, needs like, I want to say 1% support, or maybe 0.75%, so 10 out of tokens, right? So currently, because people are not voting for some reason, it becomes difficult to get stuff passed without the Web3 Foundation allegedly voting aye, which kind of, it's good because it stops the spam, because it makes it like, what's the point? But like, as in people know that's going to get rejected if they don't get votes. But at the same time, it's like, I wish more people would vote so that like token holders could just pass stuff. Yeah. There's a ref about staking that's quite important. It's on the whitelisted caller track. It's basically there's been like a series of staking changes, and this one is the one people have been waiting for and spamming me as a Nova Wallet person about, and it's a 2-day unstaking change. So if you go on referenda, and then there's like a box
on the left side, right?
And then this referenda tracks thing. Down a little bit. Yeah, this yeah, and then whitelisted caller, which is on the right side, the second.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, sure.
Oh, the first one, right? And then it's this one: staking configuration update, nominator slashing, and unbonding. So basically, because APY got lowered, part of like being nice to stakers or nominators is giving them some benefits. So after this passes, slashing will only affect validators, and it can affect validators because there's a minimum dot self stake now. So all validators have to have like a minimum of 10,000 dot skin in the game. The ideal is 30,000 dot because there's a linear rewards progression, and then the max per validator is 100,000 dot. And then after 100,000, you don't earn any more. So yeah, no slashing for stakers. And then the unbonding period will change from 28 days to 2 days, which is what people have been asking for quite a while. So hopefully people are happy. And I guess this, I don't know when this is going to enact because people haven't voted on it yet. It could enact at any point because people with more than 6% of the vote can vote on it, like the foundation sometimes do on whitelisted callers. So I expect it at any time now, between now and probably 21 more days time. But there'll be loads of noise about this on like the Polkadot account, Nerve Wallet account. So we'll let you know when the 2-day unstaking period is live.
Cool. Well, it's good to see that there's a bit of stuff going on still. Like, I think if we were to actually sort of speak on like the whole core time lay of the land, like, how are we looking on the parachain scene? Like, obviously, we've had a few bite the dust. Are we like at the point now where it's like hydration, peak, Astar, Moonbeam? Is that pretty much it?
I think in the whole crypto landscape, because it's not just parachains that are dying, right? There's loads of like ETH projects.
Yeah, of course.
And I think in bear markets, the market comes back to like reality, let's say, and it's stuff that has a product market fit actually doesn't die, and stuff that was like very speculative and maybe not that useful ends up dying. I think on like one of the parity dashboards, it shows you like the transactions from each parachain. But off the top of my head, you have obviously Hydration, which is the one that I use the most. I think Moonbeam's still doing good. They obviously do a lot of the
gaming and
stuff as well.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think Peak and Accurast are doing all right in terms of transaction count.
That's right. That's the one I forgot about, Accurast. And Astar is still active because they got the Sonium stuff that goes back and forward. There's a whole bunch of stuff that happens there.
Yeah, so I don't think it's as dire as people think. A lot of the ones that left like a few years ago are like dead anyway, so it's kind of is what it is.
It's only like because there was 50. That's why it's like it seems like there was a lot. But if you look at like even ETH L2s and you were to draw the same comparison, there's like hundreds of those. And how many of them could you even name? Like 3? Yeah. So
very much.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, everybody, go have a read of Gav's blog post. I reckon Jam's bullish as. So if you're here, maybe we should do the Polkadot and Jam vibe check. But because I'm vibing it, I think it's super cool. So if you got any questions, anyone, make sure you drop them in. Come and shoot us a follow. We're 15 weeks here, and we're hopefully another 15, and we might even be out of a bear market. So don't forget to subscribe and follow along. And go England, hey? Oh, he took some drink just as I gave the shout out.
Easy win, mate. Easy win.
All right, everyone. We'll see you guys next week.
Catch you later, guys.